friends, I'm just sitting here talking to my Madam Butterfly Snapdragons, y'all. They are in full blow. This is what they should be doing in the vase. These are a little late. You don't cut them like this. This is what they go to, right? And they are so absolutely beautiful. And look how tall they are. I have so many gorgeous, cool flowers to show you today, friends. So stay tuned because we are going to have a great show. And friends, welcome to Tool Time. I'm your host, Lisa Mason Ziegler, the flower farmer Ziegler. Pretty funny, Susie. So today we're going to be doing the tips and uses for our favorite tools. And it's just in time because you can still get delivery before Father's Day. And we have 3 new products. We're going to take a look. I can't even tell you how many beautiful buckets of flowers we have to show you today. What's blooming here on my farm. Susie Q is going to be doing the Bouquet Studio in Grandpa Ziegler's toolbox, which that's pictured in the Cut Flower Handbook. It's in the first, I don't know what page number it is, in the first section or two. And she's going to be putting that together and showing you how beautiful and easy that can be. We have a prize drawing for the in-app viewers who are watching live. And friends, as always, I'll be doing a little Q&A at the end. Is this the sweetest little thing you've ever seen? That's a Madam Butterfly snap flower. Um, if you want to submit a question for the Q&A at the very end of the show, in the comments, just put at Lisa and whatever your question is, and we will gather those up and answer as many of them as we can, right? All right, so before we get started, I just want to say how much we deeply appreciate it when you guys share to your friends about this live show. You can hit the share, if you're in the app, down at the bottom of your screen, there's actually a button, that little box, half box with an arrow. You can literally invite your friends to come over. If you're watching us on social, share this live feed right now, this live post into your feed, and that'll let other people know. And we cannot thank you enough for that. And also for housekeeping, we know this is going to be a huge shipping weekend because guess what, y'all? We have a special offer, and I'll get to that here shortly. So please be certain that your email addresses and your cell phone numbers do not have typos in them because we can't create shipping tickets without that information. So be sure you check that as you're checking out. And if you are watching me from social media, I want to tell you that we have a free phone app. This is what it looks like. And you just have so much more options when you're in the app. One of which is taking the deals of the day. You can also build favorites, replays, comments in there with the other live viewers. And normally we have special shipping rates here in the app, but stop and wait because guess what? The big deal of the day, friends, is free shipping on orders $30 and more. That is free shipping on products and on seeds. But your order just has to be, the product order has to be $30 or more. This is only available here in my app. It cannot happen on my website. It's on in stock only, and this sale is going on through Monday at midnight. It is a holiday weekend, right? What a great time to not only get the rest of your warm season seeds, start thinking cool flowers, and also Father's Day, right? All right. So that's the big deal of the day. And you have to be inside the app to actually be able to take part in that. So, friends, if you go to an item and you go to put it in your cart and it says out of stock, it means we sold out. If you want to hit the notification button, that means that if we're bringing more stock over from our website, you'll just get simply a little ding on your phone to say, hey, we got it back in stock because you don't want to miss out on the free shipping, right? So that's why notifications are really helpful when you're trying to hit a special because oftentimes they're bringing it over from our big website and that happens frequently. Now, if you are seeing people, as I'm seeing in here, posting the sunflower emojis inside our app, those are people sending us love that are we call them our TGW family, and they are our online course students and our members of my flower farmer Club. That's my private membership for flower farmers and budding flower farmers, saying, hey, you know, we're here. And I appreciate that so much. So that's what the sunflowers mean. So, friends, we give away every single week something. And this week, again, it is a $25 store credit to one lucky in app live viewer. Hit the white giveaway button right now, and that will put you on the wait list that we actually pull from at the end of the show for one lucky person, um, to get that $25 store credit just thrown right into your cart to be ready and waiting. So Father's Day is coming up, y'all, June 21st. That sounds like a long time unless you're ordering products, right? So you need to start thinking about that and shopping for your dad or your uncle or your son, or whatever man you want to celebrate this upcoming Father's Day, because we are going to be featuring some of our absolute favorite tools. And, you know, Suzanne's a gardener, I'm a farmer, and these are the crossover tools, the tools that we both use in both of the places. They're multi-purpose, versatile. They're what we use here on the farm. And y'all, we buy tools once in a lifetime. We make them last forever. And those are the type of tools that we actually offer. Long lasting, sturdy tools. And they just make work easier and faster. And we love sharp, sturdy, low maintenance tools. And that comes from having actual quality. And I'm going to let Susie Q talk to you about these first couple, because the first one is just one of her darn favorites.
Tool time is here. Okay, first up we have our Hori Hori. I call this the rock harvesting knife. This is made to dig down in the soil. It's serrated on the edge. It's heavy black sheath, and the blade is 6.5 inches long, so it goes all the way down in the handle so you can pry things. It works perfect for splitting up perennials and for planting those 2 or 1.5 inch soil blocks. You can just put it in the ground, pull it back, and drop your soil block right into the ground. So it's great for that as well. $52.95, and don't forget, free shipping. And this is the best tool that we ever have taken to shows. We'd have them laid out on a table, and there is not a man that could walk by without having to stop and come over and take it out to see what was inside. So they really love this tool, and we love it too. All right, next we have the sod and harvest knife. Is this separately, Susie? So these are our sodded harvest knives. They are super sharp. They remind me of a Ginsu knife. See, they're serrated, so they're very, very sharp. I love to use this to cut open my bags of compost or mulch while I'm working.
Bags of leaves.
Bags of leaves. They're great for getting down there and splitting perennials as well. Lisa used them to get the twine off of the tractor or the tiller. And this is the 2.5 inch. They're perfect for harvesting cool season greens like lettuce. And they also just cut very effortlessly.
Now, how do they stay so sharp?
They
Sister?
do. I don't know. It's magic, I think.
I have some old rusty ones from leaving them outside, but they still cut. They still cut.
They're crazy. So don't leave them outside. 2.5 inch blade. This one is $13.95. What a deal. And then his big brother, which is the 4.5 inch blade, is $13.95. And you can also get 5% off if you buy them together as a bundle. And just think, you could keep one for yourself and give one to your dad. And remember, if you purchase a total of over $30 in products, you get free shipping. So you can add this to your cart and get them free.
Here's a free shipper all by itself.
Yeah, so this is our Japanese hand hoe. We love this. We've had this tool for years. And this blade is also very sharp. It's a favorite of customers. It's a favorite of ours here on the farm. And it's a great gift for your father. It also gets free shipping. $31.95. The way we use it is you put it down in the soil about an inch and a half, and then you pull it through the soil like this and cut all of those little weeds down. You don't do it like this. When you weed like this, it piles up soil, which exposes weed seeds, which guess what? They're going to get sunlight and they're going to germinate. So next week when you go to do this, you're going to have lots more weeds. So you want to pull it through the soil like this. And after a few weeks, guess what? All the seeds that were in that top little bit of soil will have already germinated. You've already knocked them down. So you have very few weeds left. We also use it this way to take out a big weed, or you can draw a trough to plant seeds in. So it's very versatile. This is a right-hander. And this is a left-hander. When you add it to your cart, it will ask you if you want left or right, or you can get one of each and you can work twice as hard. $31.95, and it gets free shipping. What a deal. Get one for you and your dad.
And I will tell y'all, historically, that is the item that we sell out of all the time at gift time, particularly at Christmas. So if you want a hand hoe during the free weekend, I'd say grab her up now.
And so we also have a special. It's the Japanese hand hoe and the bigger sod knife. So you can get both of these for $43.60 with free shipping. Make your dad really happy or yourself. So $43.60 and free shipping. Right, Suze? This is the right ones. Okay. Next, we have the serrated scoop. This has a great wooden handle. You can see it's serrated. Lisa loves to use this to dig up all her Lenten roses that have seeded themselves in the gravel in the walkway around her big shade garden, and they're so hard to get out, but this does the job. Scoop dahlias, hellebores, cut through roots or tough soil, dipping holes, and weeding. So it really is a great tool. And I love it when you're doing a container.
Yeah.
And you can get just the right amount of soil to get in around the edges without dumping soil all over your container. So then it's $42.95. And again, this one gets free shipping. And this is a forever kind of tool. And you'll find a million uses for it once you do get
I
it.
keep wondering if it would make a good ice cream scoop.
It might. It might. So next we have our giant scoop without the serrated, and this is also great to keep in your bag with your soil blocking mix to be able to put it in your tray to be able to make your soil blocks. It's perfect for moving soil to the bag to the potting tray. Use in your raised bed or potting shed, oversized trowel, and it's a non-latex grip. It's got a nice grip on it here. But again, it's great to use in containers as well, or anything, bird seed, anything you need to shovel out. This one is $18.95. And again, if you buy $30 worth of something, you get free shipping. Next, we have our handy little scoop. Now, this is a great little scooper. It has a little hole here where you can tie a string to it. Perfect to leave in your bird seed bag so you can get into those little containers or for feeding your dog. It's just perfect for those things. It's made in the UK, $7.95. Perfect thing to add to your cart to make it be $30 for free shipping. And there's just a million uses, but my favorite is filling up those little bird feeders that have the thistle in them, the long skinny ones. It's so hard to get the seed in there. So it works perfect for that. $7.95. All right, next up we have our Bobo hand weeder. Now this is actually a dandelion weeder, and the way you use it is that you push it down deep in the soil and move it around. It then loosens the root of the dandelion or whatever weed, which is very deep, and then are able to pull it up without breaking it off. But what we use it for, or what Bobo uses it for, is to put holes through the Bio 360 when we're planting our little soil blocks. It makes a nice little hole, and you can put your soil block in without exposing a lot of weed seeds and without making that hole very big, which would allow the sun to get to the weed seeds. So this is a multi-use tool, and it's good for any weed to poke your holes in the Bio 360. And everyone on the farm has one to use. So I have one at home too. Love to use this to get the weeds out of our lawn. $8.95. Again, another great thing to add to your order to get you up to $30 for your free shipping. All right. Now we're going to remind you of the giveaway. If you haven't already hit that button to get on our list, do so, because at the end of the show you must be present to win, but we will randomly pull one person and we will put $25 into your cart. Okay.
All right, friends. And I will say again for all you folks that have just joined us, it is a free shipping weekend here inside the app only. That's with a $30 minimum order. And friends, you have free shipping. I mean, that would be $11.95 savings right off the top, right? And we're thinking dad today, just thinking of Father's Day, but in fact, this stuff is good for anybody, including yourself, right? So does your dad, have a veggie garden? And I will tell you, particularly for anybody, I would say I'm a pretty seasoned vegetable grower, right? I still use the heck out of our vegetable garden planner. This is a slide rule, y'all. and you just move the line to your last spring frost date, and it tells you when you can start. But now we're moving into the time where when is the last time you can plant tomatoes? This little booger tells you everything. It's for 22 common garden vegetables, and it is $6.95. I would recommend that you take 15 minutes to sit down and read the instructions and really read this thing, and you won't believe how it'll change. It answers all your questions. It's so useful, and that's a great one for Dad. So, speaking of vegetables, let's look at some of those that we're planting here on our farm. This is the San Marziano tomato, which is like a paste tomato. It's great for cooking and grilling. Absolutely love this guy. It's just got less juice inside and it's so flavorful. We love it. But here, in fact, is my favorite tomato ever. These are sun golds. And if you're trying to get a child to start eating vegetables, this is the one. They're like little sugar pops. Even, I mean, little toddlers love these guys. So the Sun Golds, we just started ours. They're about this tall. I just bumped them up and they're beautiful little transplants. We can't wait to get them out in the garden. And these are the big beefs. This is my go-to tomato. I've grown all the tomatoes, y'all, and they're all wonderful. But this is the one that has been the most foolproof for me for diseases and hardiness. Big beef is incredibly productive, and they're big slicers. We can them, we freeze them, and we eat them fresh. They just do the whole darn job. And then, I mean, we eat so many cucumbers in this house, including our golden retriever. We have found that Market More is our preferred one. It is a super disease resistant variety and it's just really abundant. So we plant them now and then we're going to plant them again because you look on your garden planner that I just showed you, the slide rule, and it'll tell you the last day that you need to have transplants ready to go in the garden so you have late cucumbers as well, right? And then here are the peppers that we are hoping we are going to have. These are sweet Italians. It's Carmen is her name, and they're really pretty big. We are making a vase out of several of these together that's going to be in the Bouquet Studio probably in late July. But they are delicious. Great grillers, great for roasting, and they're sweet peppers, not hot. And then we also love growing the classic bell pepper. So this one starts out green, but if you leave it in the garden long enough, it'll turn red. These are really beautiful peppers, y'all. We had a stuffed pepper party last year at my house with our family because they're just big and beautiful, and they're very delicious as well. And then lastly, my favorite, zucchini, y'all. Do y'all make zucchini crab cakes? You need to look that up online. Love, and it's a perfect way to use up a lot of zucchini. But this is such a great producer, and it is called Green Machine, and she is a pumping out machine. We love all those. And you know, my book, you would think Vegetables Love Flowers is about growing vegetables, but in fact, it's not. Sorry. It's about why vegetables love growing in the presence of flowers and how to go about doing that in the midst of a veggie patch and making it work. And that is putting a little cutting garden and then taking care of it as a cutting garden so it keeps producing to invite all the good stuff into the garden that benefit the vegetables. I would love to sign a book for you. When you buy it from us, it also comes with a bonus of a video book study where I interviewed the photographer, my sis, and several other things. You know, Susie, help me remember. Every time I say this, I want to look at that again. I haven't looked at it since we made it back years ago when the book came out. And this is just a real, this kind of is all about my philosophy of gardening, how to do it without chemicals and how we go about doing that. So Vegetables Love Flowers is a really good one. And so, you know, and part of what's in that book is my favorite way to start seeds. And y'all, we have just, Bobo's been starting seeds all week. Look at this. Celosia, we are birthing, what is this? This is the Kramer's mix. We have like 15 trays that look like this. They're absolutely beautiful. And let me show you how we do that. And so we are going to start off with the Soil Block Maker Kit. This is a customer favorite, y'all. And the kit, when it's bundled together, has a savings. But friends, Free shipping. I mean, we pay the shipping and we are happy to do that for you for the weekend. So now's the time to strike. The kit comes with the small 3/4 inch blocker that makes a set of 20. It comes with three packs of seeds. You select either 3 warm season or 3 cool season. You make that selection at checkout. It also includes my seed starting made easy course that you have lifetime unlimited access to, y'all. It's just like buying a book. You just go online to look at it. That takes you from the beginning right through the whole process of seed starting indoors to planting them outside. And there's also a session on there on direct sowing. The kit includes 5 of our reusable foam trays. Each one holds 3 sets of 20. It has the toothpicks and the seed pan and our little wooden plant IDs, as well as a bag of our ready-made mix. This has the nutrient already in it. We recommend sifting all seed starting products, but you just add water to this and you are ready to roll. So you get all of this for 94.65 and free shipping, friends. Now is the time if you've been thinking about starting soil blocking or giving it as a gift. Let me tell you something. Your mom will be telling, why'd you give your dad that kit? He won't stop starting seeds. Literally, that's how it kind of happens. All right, so let me show you how you actually make those. I think, let's see. Yeah. I think I might need just a little bit of water, sister, not much. It's pretty moist. The number one problem, just give me a little spritz. That's good. Um, the number one problem people suffer from is they don't wet the soil enough. And this had dried out since we did it yesterday. This is a potato masher. That's what I use to incorporate the water to the soil. You hold the blocker on the stationary bar and you push it down into the moistened blocking mix. Y'all, it is just so simple and easy, and it grows fantastic seedlings. We use those flat bottom trays with no drainage holes. You place the tool on the tray, and just that quick, we just made 20 little blocks, which are actually containers for seeds. And I was going to show you, these are some zinnias that we just sowed yesterday. Don't know if you can tell they're starting to pop here. But this is 60 zinnias in this little tray, and they grow in this block until they go to the garden in 3 weeks. There is no bumping up. Only for a very few select plants do we do that. Use the small blocker almost exclusively. Now, let me tell you about a new blocker that we have, Suzanne, in there on the bottom shelf. There is a tray of peppers in this block. So this, my friends, is our new medium soil blocker. It actually makes 5.5-inch blocks, which are fantastic. We are just finding so many ways to use this. One of them is that I started our peppers. This is my rooster peppers. Y'all, look at the roots on this guy. Do you think that if this had been in a container for 4 weeks, that the roots would be as beautiful as these are? This is 15 blocks on this small tray. What we love using this size blocker for is actually starting sunflowers, particularly for home gardeners and just starting flower farmers that they don't need 128 sunflowers each week, because you can fit 15 of these blocks. This is what they look like. If you can see, the nipple makes a indentation in the top that is ready to receive a seed. So we import all the blockers from the UK. And this is the original brand that we have used for over almost 3 decades now. So these are $46.95, and they're just great for larger seed stuff. A lot of vegetable seeds as well as sunflowers. And then you can also use it for things like peppers. All right.
The zinnia seeds, which end of the seed did you put in?
Sure. So I was asked which end of the zinnia seed did I poke in those blocks? I did both, y'all, and I purposely did it. It's just one point. The pointiest end is the one that I drive in because that's the one that goes in the easiest. But the covering of the seed, which is what zinnia prefers, just means that the the body of the seed is down in the soil. That's the covering part. It does not matter which end. What does matter is warm soil and getting moisture every morning and the blocks drying out uniformly throughout the day, not uniformly, or by the next morning, right? All right, so one of the things that I find super important, because friends, I will just break your hearts all now. I've been doing this for 30 years. I have a grow room full of racks, lights, and heat mats, and I still don't have enough space. Nobody ever does. So you learn to make the most of it. And a big piece of that is having the proper size tray to fit for the number of blocks that you're making so you don't waste space on a heat mat or under a grow light. And so this is the mini that holds a set of 20. All of these are available in 5 packs and 25 packs. This is $1.95 for a 5 pack. We just wash them up and use them over and over. They are not meant to be disposable. This is the small that holds 2 sets of 20. This is the size that comes in that kit that holds 3 sets of 20 or 3 sets of the inch and a half, so 15 would go on it. So all of those give you the offer to do 25 packs or the 5 packs. And we use these, and I have about 3 other size of bigger commercial. The big green ones you'll find over on our website. Now you can purchase additional blocking mix. This is a 6 quart bag, and this bag makes approximately 600 of the small blocks. Pretty amazing, huh? It's $15.95, and this will keep you soil blocking, y'all. It's got the nutrient already added in it. But if you want to make your own blocking mix at home, I recommend learning how to soil block with our mix so you get your consistency and your technique down. Then you can start making your own at home. This is the DIY blocking mix nutrient. It's a powder, and this is a mix of 50% green sand and 50% rock phosphate powder. That's the part that people have a hard time finding, which is why we make this. The recipe is right on the front. This will make 12 recipes, and a recipe basically is the equivalent to this, a 6 quart bag. So this will get you started. You add your peat moss or cocoa fiber and compost to this nutrient to make your blocking mix. And it has all the instructions right on the front. And this is $19.95. And friends, free shipping. All right, Lisa. Y'all know what I just did. So y'all laugh. Okay. Does everybody know what time it is? It is Bouquet Studio time.
Howdy ho, neighbors. Okay, first of all, let's get this fixed back here so you can see me a little bit. We'll figure out what is going to be the best. I have a bucket of beautiful flowers.
Oh my gosh.
So we are going to do, what else with the tool show? We're going to do Grandpa's tool bag. What do you call this? Tool carrier?
Toolbox.
Toolbox. Yeah, it was
I found this in the attic of the house that we live in, Steve's grandparents. But yeah, it was stashed away.
So as you can see, it's just got 5 compartments. And of course, we've used, also found here at the farm, mason jars to go in each of these. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this aside so I can get the flowers out here. I'm going to make 5 little bunches of flowers and stick in there, and then we'll put some more in to add to it. But we'll make 5 little piles here. Get that out of water shot. So this is Love in a Mist, which is Nigella. Which color is that, sister?
That's Delft Blue.
We have Delft Blue. It looks like we have some white as well.
The African Bride.
The African Bride. So I'm just going to make some little piles here. I tried to strip this so I wouldn't have to strip it now. We're just going with it. So I'm just going to make 5 little piles, and we'll make 5 little bunches of flowers and put them in there, and then we'll
Can we
add
push
to
that
it.
back a little bit more?
I don't know. Can you? I can pull the flowers back. Would that
Yeah,
help?
yeah.
There we go.
And so this is probably the last week that we'll have Nigella flowers. They're starting to develop those super cool seed pods. So take note of what they look like with the
seed pod
bloom.
there. Pretty cool. All right. I'm trying to move fast. It's not always easy.
right.
It's not always easy.
Don't
All right,
rush.
1,
Here,
2,
give me
3,
the flowers
4.
that you don't want.
Well, I haven't not finished yet. And then we have another flower, which is one of my favorites. Might be your favorite too. Lisa, you've discombobulated the camera quite a bit.
Sorry.
Let's kind of turn side. I wish we could turn this sideways, don't you guys, so you can see better. All right, so we have some nigella. I'll just let you see the two here in the center. Now we have one of everybody's favorites, Bells of Ireland. Caution, these do have some thorns. Some of these are quite big. I don't know how we'll fit these into the little jars, but we're gonna set these.
Here's some little ones.
So I try to keep a canopy about my little bunches. So the canopy is gonna be like right here. And then my little spiky things are gonna stick up a little bit above that. All right, so now we have some small.
Let me just say, from a flower farmer perspective, don't put all your flowers in one bucket. They get a little tangled, y'all.
Yeah, I put them all together. It's raining dill over there. Yeah, this was in a rush when we were doing flowers the other day. So we're gonna put some of these,
Here's
stick
two,
them all in there.
smallish ones.
Those are really little. I might put those in at the end. Put those. You have another big one? Okay. All right. Some of these are gonna be quite large.
Here's two flower.
Let's swap this out because he's so big on him in the middle. There you go.
It's all about placing them, isn't it, sister?
Mhm.
Making the end result better.
Yep. And we'll wait on the buffler. I want the Sweet William. This Sweet William, I can't even tell you. I'm just going to bring this up. Y'all can't see much anyway. I'll hold things up as I'm doing it. This is one stick of Sweet William. Look at that. Is this Amazon?
Yep.
And this is cherry.
Yep.
I mean, what a great color and a great building to a bouquet. So this is going to be my canopy. Canopy is the top of this. So these guys are going to stick up above the canopy. You can see the bells, you can see the nigella. And this is so big, I might have to take off one of these sides. Yep, because it is just so huge. So this is the way I'm going to do that. And just give me the rest of the flowers. I'll do them one at a time. They'll be able to see better. And these have some blue plurum. Please, ma'am. So we're going to add a little bupleurum here on the side. And bupleurum is just the best filler ever. These are just little side shoots we took off of ones that we had here to show you. And I'm going to put a few black-eyed Susans. Is this Daisy?
That's Goldilocks.
Goldilocks. Goldilocks, one of my favorite black-eyed Susans. They're just so frilly and cute. So I think I figured I'd put like 3 of these in each one of my little bunches. And then we have some snapdragons. And snapdragons just help you get a little height. I need them in the bucket, sister. They're easier for
I'm
me
trying to
get.
untangle them.
Yeah, they're a tangly mess. So let's grab one of this color. So here I have my little bunch. And then I got some dill, which is always a lot of fun. And I like to keep that quite a bit higher. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my little, pull this up. I'm going to look at my little mason jar and decide how tall I need to cut this. And I always cut it too long. Better long than short.
And you know, wouldn't this be the perfect centerpiece on a buffet table?
Yes, yes. And so here we have up now our shears. These are the shears that I'm using. They have a spring loaded in the middle there and just make it so easy on your hand. These are bonsai shears. And, well, I just went to pick up the new pair and it fell out of the package. But the bonsai shears that we use are just great. They just cut a woody, a sunflower, anything you're cutting.
For years.
For years. And excuse me, the flower's already getting to me. And so I'm going to use them to cut my little guy right down here. And in a perfect world, all this greenery would be out of my water. Of course, we know how important that is. And look how cute
pretty
that
is that?
is. And we're going to have 5 of these guys. So that's just the first one. So now I'm going to make 4 more of those. This one has a ton of bells. Look at all those bells. So we'll
I
put a
think
few.
bells are just dadgum amazing.
And I'm sorry, I need a cough drop. I think there's one
Okay.
in my pocket right here.
Right there.
There's one right here in the pocket. If you'll open it for me.
Is it the same as this? Charles?
No, that
It's
was.
funny, isn't it, that us
Ricola.
allergy girls are flower farmers?
It's crazy.
I almost popped this in my mouth. Here, open your mouth.
Uncle. So I'm gonna put 3 black-eyed Susans again. It's always good to do odd numbers when it's something that stands out so much. Odd numbers just really give you a lot of great color. And then we've got some sweet pea vine. I'm gonna stick some of that in. Lisa cut it for me, so I'll use it. Then I also forgot we have billy balls. How fun is that? And I can always go back and add into the little bunch I've
I think
already
Billy
made.
Balls makes it look like a solar system when they're
Yeah, so
up on
billy
top.
balls are really cute. So let's get our next
Mine's
jar
chewy. Is
out.
yours?
I don't know, I'm not chewing it. So again, I'm gonna just measure and cut about the height I think. And so here is our next little jar.
Man, it's a beautiful color snap.
Uh-huh. Put it in. Wait till you see these all together. All right. So now
What are we
we're up to
using that
4.
for?
I don't know. It's
We
kind
gotta
of
do something.
gorgeous. It is gorgeous.
So what's the bottom line, y'all? You have to grow flowers. And she has a mix of colors here. You know, she just kind of makes it out of what we have.
That's the truth.
It is the truth.
Uh-huh. And I can go back in afterwards and put this beplorum in around the edges to cover up the different mechanics that might be showing.
This is the first Maya.
Yep, this is our first Maya. Isn't that beautiful? It's
She's a
gotten so
great cut,
frilly.
but she's also a fantastic landscape plant because she's not like 36 inches tall. She's more like 24, and that just means it won't fall over and all that kind of stuff.
So you can see I'm using 3 of these. I didn't get enough billy balls, did I? And we're gonna go with
Oh, we
another
have more. We
dill.
have plenty.
I need 3 more. So this one doesn't seem to be as big as the others. I'm gonna add some more Sweet William over here. Of course, this one is going in the middle, so it's kind of hard. I may have to cut this and then split it to get it in the holder.
Sister, let me just add this note. See this little bunch of billy balls I have here? I have a little demonstration cool flower garden here on the farm, and I've been keeping track of how much I'm kind of harvesting mentally. And this is one harvest from twice a week, one time from 10 plants. And there's a ton more out there. So, it's like, it's unbelievable how productive when they're planted at the right time, right? These were fall planted. Can you use the short one, sister?
Probably.
She's having too much fun here, y'all.
Okay. So where are the rest of mine? Here we go. So here's some more. Thank you.
Welcome.
And we need some Sweet William for this one. You see, I try to do them in triangles. So I just put stuff on opposite sides if I have multiples of that one. I don't think I put any snapdragons in that last one. All right, so we're going to put our 3 black-eyed Susans in here. And on opposite sides, just to give us some distribution of the color. And then I'll take a few snaps. Look at this snapdragon. My goodness.
That's one of my favorite colors. It's
Yeah,
pale
it's
pink.
beautiful.
And I'm not even a pink girl.
No, she's not. All right, the dill is for the end. So let me get some. Is this all the sweet pea we got?
Yeah.
Come, come, come. There we go. All right, so we're gonna put some sweet pea in there, a little bit of a plurum. And again, like Lisa said, not fussing over color that much, just kind of using what we have. So let me get my next. And when I cut this one, I'll show you all what it looks like in the container.
Man, I love that snap.
Mm-hmm. So here, let's put this down here. Look at that. So I'm just going to slip this one in there. And we have one more to make.
This would be a $200 or more arrangement.
Yep. Sweet William, and then we're going to go back and see if we need to add something. We need to add something
Is that the last one?
to it. This is the last one. Keep those out because I want to add those around the edges possibly. So we need 3 black-eyed Susans, 3 Billy Balls, and the last piece of dill.
Look at those snaps.
Okay, so we have our 3
You know what,
black-eyed
y'all?
Susans.
When I'm looking at all this, I just can't even believe we started all this from seed.
Do you have another color snap?
Pink,
What
white.
if I just broke him? Sorry, off with your head. Snap, snapped. It happens. And you just move on. I've seen a lot of posts lately about people saying this flower or that flower is looking funny. Is it damaged from pests or disease or whatever? And this flower is doing this and that. And you know what Lisa and I've always done? We've cut it to the ground and just moved on. Unless your whole crop is affected, you're in good shape. All right, Billy Balls. Your 3 Billy Balls
These are
and the dill.
this variety. Show that Billy ball. It's a little bit flatter and fatter. That's the sun ball.
And again, I'm putting them on 3 separate sides. And anything spiky, I like to leave above the canopy. And then, of course, the Sweet William and things like zinnias, when they come in, and those kinds of things would go in the canopy. So now we have our dill. Let's get our last jar. You want to bring the whole thing down
Yeah.
here. Slide it with the boxes. Okay. Y'all can't really see what I'm doing, but where's
Need the boxes.
my clippers? They got
Yeah, take them off the boxes, sister.
okay.
I'll lift it. You pull them out.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to take this last jar out.
Gosh, y'all, it is so beautiful.
I'm going to take this last
And
jar
how
out
long has it
and
taken her?
measure.
What has this been? 5-6 minutes or something?
And we're going to put this in there. Now we're going to ease it in there. Wish we could get it a little further away. So now I can go and stick things
Put the
in
sweet peas
here.
on that side. Are there sweet peas over there too?
I don't know. Can you turn around and see this side? Yeah,
Both sides are
they're
beautiful.
both sides are beautiful. But I would go along and take these bells and stick them in to cover up mechanics along the front here. Because them hanging down are just beautiful.
Here's a boucleurum.
They're kind of squatty. I don't think they do as much.
Yeah, we'll put it back here and you'll be able to see it.
So we're making this side the front because I'm putting the bells in this side.
So, sister, I'm going to hold it for you and I'll step back a little bit and you
Okay.
can kind of talk about it.
All right. I think I might need some more Sweet William in the front. Back,
Y'all,
back.
how beautiful
I can't get to it unless you back up.
is this? Oh my gosh.
So we're going to put some Sweet William in here just to give it a little more coverage in the front.
And that's the joy of having a garden. You can go out and snip some of those shorties that are around the edge of the beds to like put a little skirt on this. But of course, our mechanics are beautiful. It's this box and mason jars. You don't really necessarily need to hide that. It's no mechanics other than
Mason jars.
mason jars and short
You
flowers.
just have to be sure that it gets in the water, and you'll know the next morning.
That's right. Look how beautiful.
And so let's turn around this way and see. So this side you can see it needs a lot of coverage. And then this side where I've already filled in just looks so done.
Yeah, that is so beautiful.
Get that scraggling sweet pea.
You troublemaker.
Okay.
Amen. There.
All right. So again, I used my shears for this. We still have the shears up. They're $43.95. And they're great for anybody that has a garden, a farm,
Just
just have a
flower
yard.
arranging.
Just a yard. I use these out in the yard to prune and everything else. And of course, remember free shipping. Then I didn't show you my pouch. The pouch is on my pocket because it has this little clip. It doesn't have to go on a belt. This is what a new one looks like. You can tell we've used this one forever. And it holds this shear or any shear that you have. It holds my Joy shins if I'm using that, walking out about. And it's just makes it easier. Don't lose your tools. The shear, I'm sorry, the pouch is 19.95, or you can get them together, the shear and the pouch, and it's free shipping. It's $60.72. So don't miss out on this opportunity to get the free shipping on those. We use them all the time. All right, I'm clearing everything off, getting out of the way so we can continue the show with my sister.
All right, friends. While Suzanne lines up the bloom lineup, which you've already seen a lot of it, right? Y'all, I'm having a really bad hair day. I got drizzled on while I was out there messing around. So, I always kick off our showing you the seeds or showing you the flowers with the seed available is to say you always purchase the seed for a flower when you meet the flower. Rarely is it time to plant the seed that I'm showing you the flower of, right? It's like they're planted before, they're blooming now, and we're planting different stuff now to bloom later. And so storing your seeds properly is key. So you buy seeds when you see them, and then you store them properly. These are desiccants packs. What makes seeds live a long time and be viable is cool and dry. And this helps to keep it dry, and then you store it in a cool area, and your seeds will last a really long time. So this is the last week, I believe, of Larkspur. This is the fancy smoky eyes. Look at this color. It's like white with lavender kind of brushed on it. So beautiful and tall. And this is the Misty Lavender. It's a very moody, a very trendy color. But if y'all notice, it's just, you don't see, it's not very bright. So keep that in mind. But if you're selling to florists or if this is in your colors, it is a gorgeous one. We also, look, the very first one I ever grew, this is the mix. The blue and the purple in this mix, there's one right there, is kind of, that's the earliest ones blooming. The pink and white come on later. Larkspur is the Southerners Delphinium, y'all. And so all of these that we're looking at right now are direct sown out in the garden, and I sowed them last fall.
I don't see African.
There's only one in here. I got it, sister. It's right here. All right. So first you're looking at, this is Delph Blue. Look at that fresh flower, y'all. But look at the seed pod that comes as the flower ages. And we use them both ways. And right now we're in the transition where there really won't be any new flowers. We're going to have all seed pods next week. So look at the flowers now to really get a gist. This Delph Blue is gorgeous. Then there's African Bride, which we thought it was over, but she is just buried in here. See her? She's white and has that same cool center. They are so beautiful, have great stem length. We absolutely love them. And then look at this. Now she's almost all seed pods. This is the Miss Jekyll, which was white and several colors of blue. Look how tall it is. These are great bouquet fillers, y'all. They just hold up really well. And so this is green marbles. It has a white bloom, as you still see down here, but it gets a clear chartreuse green seed pod. This is the perfect stage to use them. We love this one because it's so versatile. I mean, look at all the fuzzers around the pod. Very interesting to add to bouquets. It holds up really well. And of course, we have had a spectacular year of Bells of Ireland. These are from the field, not the demo garden. And the smell, and y'all, we direct sow Bells of Ireland. And so these guys are perfect bouquet ingredients as well as just classics. People absolutely love them. So this is white lace flower or Orlea, as you may know it. And it's kind of going through a transition right now too. I'm going to pinch this off and show you. This is an immature, just starting to develop. I cut it not long after that. Once it gets wider, but not really blooming is when I cut it, because it quickly goes to this full blow bloom. But look what then starts to happen. It starts to develop this seed pod that is lasts forever in bouquets. We used to sell the heck out of this, y'all. So fun and wonderful to grow. So that is white lace flower. It can be invasive. Know that. Cut it all so it doesn't reseed in your garden. And then there's this Chinese forget-me-nots. This is the blue. It does come in pink, but the blue is like nothing else, y'all. Decent length of stem. Love that one. And again, we are still in direct sown crops. So this
Then, right?
cool. These were all fall planted, cool season, hardy annuals. These are all the cool flowers. And y'all look at this. This is Bupleurum. It's just the best filler for what I mean, for everything. We absolutely love it. Direct sown in the garden in the fall. And then there's that dill Susie Q was using. This stuff is so tall out in our garden, y'all. And this is a great beneficial insect, a bouquet ingredient, just fun to have in the garden. And of course, it's culinary also. You can eat it. So this is dill bouquet. And this is the end of the direct sown cool season hardy annuals that we planted last fall, right? So that's those. Now we are moving into the cool season hardy annuals that we started indoors because they prefer that and planted them last fall. How gorgeous is this, y'all? Sweet William Amazon cherry. They call it neon for a reason, right? It is gorgeous and so tall, and there's several colors of this. All right, so we then have the same Amazon in the Rose Magic. This is Pinky. If you take this one, I want to compare this one with the next one. So this is the Rose Magic. Then you have to see them side by side to really see the difference. This is the Lavender Magic. And when you see it right up against the pink, you can definitely tell the one on top is purplish. But there, if you're just growing for bouquets, you could use either one of these. You don't have to have both. But if you're selling to commercials, flower florist, you could go both ways. Excellent stem length, and again, all of these are fall planted from transplants. Then we have, now these two Sweet Williams I'm getting ready to show you are biennials. They have a little different planting time. And of course, the book and the big calendar guides you to figure yours out. So, which one is first? Electron. Yes. Did you bring it up so that
Neon purple you didn't do yet. It's right here.
oh, not neon purple. I'm sorry. I was thinking lavender purple. Lavender magic. We did not do purple. So here, sorry, y'all, we have too many Sweet Williams. This is also the Amazon series purple. This is my favorite. It is a just a bright, hot jewel color. Great stem length, and it's big. You know, that's the Sweet William Suzanne was using in cherry. Great big heads. We love that. Now, Electron and Super Duplex are biennials, a little different planting time, but look at the mixes. You won't get these any other way. Excellent stem length, and we've been cutting these for over 5 weeks now, I believe. And then here's one that looks similar, but they're actually about a week later, and so that's why I have more of this, because they haven't gotten all finished up yet. This is Super Duplex, another biennial. And you can get all the guidance on figuring out your planting time in the book and the big calendar. Fabulous colors. And now we're back to just regular cool season hardy annual planting times in the fall. This is the Sweet series. This is white. Again, transplanted in the fall, excellent stem length, and it's a ball shape. I mean, you just can never have enough white flowers in your life. And then here is the so now we're moving into yarrows. And so let me see which one is which. This is Colorado. Which one's first? Summer berries. All right, we have two yarrows, and I've grown both. This is the summer berries, which is dominated by more of the berry kind of colors. This is just a great, these are great garden flowers too, y'all, because they attract so many pollinators. Great filler. And then this is Colorado Sunset, which just has some additional more salmony colors and pink. Both of them have excellent stem length. We just love them. And in fact, if I was a small grower doing bouquets, I would grow one or the other. You know, you don't have to grow both. Now, here's a must grow for bouquets. This is Carthamus safflower. What is Carthamus is what we call it, the Zanzibar variety. And so I actually love using this before it starts blooming. See how it gets like this little afro popping out the top? Before that happens, this is the sturdiest bouquet filler I have ever used. I mean, it is like it's fake. It's just so, look at that. How cool that is. And this was fall planted. It is branching for us. It says it's not supposed to branch, but it does. Love it. Now, guess what's coming on board? The scabiosis pincushion are going wild. This is the triple berries, which has this light color, the red, and the dark black. They call it black, but it's actually like a super deep purple. How pretty, and they are so tall, y'all. And then you can buy the individual colors. This is Fire King. Look at this. How would this be to have it for 4th of July? I don't know. With this drought we have, I don't think we'll have it this year. This is the stage to harvest before the blooms have really come out. And then there's white, which really needs to be harvested earlier. Almost all of these are already too old, y'all. What you're looking to cut is there's not even one here. It's the heat that's moving them. This is the closest. See how they're still green and not all the flowers? You want like 6 flowers on the side starting, and that's when you cut it. Because the white just gets dirty easy, but it is so fun to grow. The all-time favorite color in Scabby is the Bouquet. This is just a great color, y'all. Look how pretty they are. Love those. And then a different type of scabiosis is the ping pong. And do we have that one, Susie? Okay. So this one, this scabby gets the same type of flower. It kind of looks the same as those others, but don't cut them. This is what you're waiting for. This is the seed pod, and it is fantastic. Can y'all see up above my head up there? That is an entire, that galvanized box is full of these, and it is spectacular. Spectacular. Then this is Ami Visnaga, which is another Ami that is so different than Ami Magus. Look how hunky this is, y'all. This is the best Ami Visnaga we have grown in 10 years. I am telling you. And it is so tall. I mean, it's tall as I am out in the garden. Look how pretty in all those stages. It is so beautiful. And that's a great filler. It has a very unique fragrance, which I really love. And then we have all the feverfews, y'all. This is Virgo. Virgo has a tighter head than the other whites. Love this one. I mean, feverfew is such a useful bouquet builder. For if we're in your home or whether you're selling. And that one is, you can actually cut it early before it starts showing color to have green filler. Then this is the Sunny Ball, which is the yellow color. Look how pretty that is, y'all. This just pops up any bouquet. Absolutely love that. And this is the first feverfew I ever grew. See how white it is? This is Tetra, what do they call it now? Tetra White Wonder. And it's very dominant. So you only use one stick of this in a bouquet, but it is so, or three, Suzanne says. So all of these are super tall. And then I saved our very favorite feverfew because of how casual it is. This is the single. And I mean, look at those little daisies is what they look like. Love this one so much. All of these, again, were fall planted. They're cool season hardy annuals by transplants last fall. And now we're into the snaps, y'all. Now, Chantilly, who is the first snap, whoop, we're losing some, the first snap to bloom on my farm. They were blooming the end of March, early April. We cut them clean over several weeks. They're now reflushing, and here we are, still super tall. The colors, and notice that Chantilly blooms have an open face. They don't have the little the little chin. Those are great. And then here, y'all, is a whole bunch of Madam Butterflies. These are so beautiful. This is the mix. There's shrimp and two colors of pink. There's white. These are just so gorgeous. Can you see up close that the bloom has a ruffle in the middle? Love, love, love that one. And then this is the Potomac mix, which is looks pretty much like the basic Snapdragon, but it's super tall out in the garden. And this is reflushing that's happening. So it has the standard colors. So if you struggle to get tall snaps, Potomac is a good one to grow. Then this is Rocket, which again, this is an old heirloom. This is the first snap I ever grew. And it just has the standard colors, and it's just one of the hardiest, best growers that we grow, and absolutely love it. And friends, wait till you see this. This, my friends, is Lombada Monarda. Look how drop dead gorgeous. You take a bucket of this to the farmer's market, a big bucket, and put it out at the front of your tent, everybody will stop and say, "What is that?" And people love it. We have grown it for over a decade and absolutely love these guys. All right, so we have two Billy Balls, which is Craspedia. This is the original one that we've always grown. Great producer. And some of the balls are medium. They're like bigger than a Gumfrina, but we love it. It dries just like this. We love using it. And then we have Sunny Ball, which is a new variety we brought on last year. And the balls are a little bit bigger, which is always good, right? And some of them are even short and a little flatter. So they're super cool. Absolutely love Craspedia, and they dry looking just like that. And we're still in fall planting of cool season hardy annuals by transplants. And this is Status. This is some of the mix, the two blue purple colors that are in there, as well as a little bit of the rose down here. Great fresh, and we love it for dried and making wreaths. I mean, it's just so fun. And y'all, look at all these sweet peas. All these sweet peas came off of a I guess it's more like an 8-foot run, single row cut. Sweet peas are so productive when you plant them on time and keep them happy. This is High Scent, which is the white with just a little bit of lavender blush. It is the most fragrant in my experience and the hardiest. It's kind of like that Rocket Snap. These are some of the first ones that I grew, which was a long time ago before all these new hybrids came. And it's just a great one to start with. That is the High Scent Sweet Pea, and they were too fall planted last year in the fall by transplant. And then look, this is Royal Mix. This is the best little bunch we've had. And it is a mix of colors. And we absolutely love these guys, especially for the red ones. They just, as you saw, Suzanne, they brought Suzanne so much extra drama to her little bouquets. And then we have Tweedia. So Tweedia is kind of a funny animal. It's actually a vine, but we grow it in our garden like our other plants, and then it grows up through the netting, and it's just starting to get kind of elongating, and this actually blooms into summer for us. And so we get a lot of questions about hydrating it. Definitely put Quick Dip in your bucket. That 2 tablespoons that I recommend for those weepy kind of plants. Cut it early in the morning and strip it, and it does weep a little bit of milk when you first cut it. Has a unique fragrance, but look at that color. Cool flower, y'all, planted last fall. And friends, I'm happy to announce that the Rudbeckias have started. Look at, this is Indian Summer, the very first black-eyed Susan I ever grew, or one of the first 3 flowers I ever grew as a flower farmer. Look how big that is. Super tall, great bouquet focal flowers. That's Indian Summer. I love this one. This is Goldilocks because it's smaller, easier to use, earliest bloomer, and she's just precious, y'all. Absolutely love Goldilocks. And then the Denver daisies are just starting. Look how this is a blooming whopper, y'all. Look how big this booger is. These are so fun. And yes, some of them reseed. Plant them where you can benefit from that if you're a home gardener. This is the native bee favorite in our garden. They love Denver daisy. And then this one's just getting started. It's kind of hard to see. This is cherry brandy. It's dark, y'all. They're just unfurling. They aren't really fully happy yet. I don't grow a bunch of these, but one of these stuck a bunch of light flowers is a little dramatic, and I love doing that. So that's the cherry brandy. But here is one of my favorite bouquet, right behind Goldilocks. This is Prairie Sun because of the color. Look how light and bright. Love this one so much. And this is an excellent landscape plant as well.
So
And then this is the rudbeckias are just getting started. This is chimchimney, and the petals are fluted. This is the coolest flower, y'all. This makes cool bunches of just it. And they have different kind of muted colors, bicolors, and it's just really a lot of fun. I'm a Rudbeckia nut. That's why we have so many native bees on our farm. But that's the one, Chimchimney's the one to grow if you have a lot of pest damage on your open petals of Rudbeckia. And then I wanted to show you, this is the straw flower mix. Y'all, these were very early spring planted. So we've just ended with the fall planted. These were all planted in very early spring. I'm going to try to line these up a little. There you go. So maybe you can see the colors. Look how pretty. These are so useful. Great for crafting, fresh bouquets. Love all of them.
and the florist loved them so much, Lisa sold them all to the florist. So I was always in need of them for my bouquet.
She's always complained that I give her stuff away, y'all, ever since she was born. So those and what I'm getting ready to show you were planted what we call very early spring. For me was mid-February. Look at these snaps. This is opus, y'all. So we planted this last fall too, and we're still cutting, but look at these guys. So this is like a succession planting hack. We plant them in the fall and again in very early spring. And they are just, I mean, that's that fresh white. Look how beautiful that is. And again, these are kind of bloomed out. You cut snaps when just the bottom first flower is open, right? So that's opus. And we're about, where's the rest of these? There was, wait a minute, she's going to get, this is what's just starting. This is kind of like a forecast of what you're going to see next week. This is Clarkia, which used to be called Godicia. It's the Grace series, and it's in white. And so look at this guy. First off, I want to show you how tall it is. They're amazing. And it gets these little set, there's like one, two, three, four, five, six. There's 7 blooms at the tip of this flower. And we have this in salmon, and I think it's lavender that'll be coming along. So this is Clarkia, and you are seeing just the beginning. We're going to have a ton of that next week. So if you want to learn more about this whole group of flowers, we have one book that talks just about them. And it's really the best book for anybody that's not familiar with the cool season hardy annuals. And it's my book called Cool Flowers. This is the first baby step to learning when to figure out you're supposed to grow cool when you plant cool flowers in your garden. Cool flowers grow everywhere. It's just that we all maybe plant at different time, y'all. So this is the book. This comes with a video book study when you purchase it from us, and I would love to sign one for you. And now is the time to learn what you're going to be doing because fall's going to be here. Biennials need to be started in 2 months, I think. So the time is here, right? All right. So let's look at the only warm flowers I have. Look at these, y'all. These are the early bird suns that we started in my Flower Farmer Club. This is the Pro Cut Gold Light. This is what it looks like. And this is the stage to cut them in. See this one right here, how they're just cracking open? And all of these were in bud just a couple days ago. Look how pretty they are. And this is just a universal color, having that green center. And then this is one of my favorites. They're all my favorites, y'all. Useful is what I love. This is the peach. And it's just so pretty. And so these were all started indoors. These are warm season tender annuals. We've switched, cool flowers are over. These were planted right at our lab, right before our last frost date with protection. and we had sunflowers for Mother's Day. And I'm so happy to say that on a show last week, we had somebody in 6A, that's North, y'all, that had early bird sun for Mother's Day. So anybody can actually do it. This is the lemon sunflower, nice yellow petals. Love that one too. And so now we have some new seed sets to actually introduce y'all. And I haven't even seen these in print. I've only seen them digitally.
This is dry. I don't want you
Yeah.
getting
We don't have the big parts, have the little.
Okay. So the first one up is one of my very favorite mixes, and I have talked about it whenever fall comes around. So these mixes are intended that these are a great opportunity to actually plant in summer to get fall blooms. This is the candy corn set. And I'm going to show you them individually, but there's the little bouquet, and this is how they come to you with a cute little ribbon on them. It's 5 individual packs of seeds, and this one includes the white swan marigold, love that one, the orange marigold, the yellow marigold, and oh my goodness, my favorite limelight millet, which is a great spike. And where would you be without orange sundae? So all this little seed set includes a full pack of each one of these. It is $19.95, and this is the perfect set to start now for late summer and fall blooms. Now, this one, super fun, Enchanted Twilight, y'all. Look at this. Is that not the coolest? So, this set of 5 seeds includes my fall favorite, the Cosmo Rubenza. This is a great color, and you know, Cosmos perform their best show in the fall. And then this is the Sunday Series green. They call it green. They do call it green. And it's like a white green. And that's what really brightens up the bouquet. And then it has our Purple Majesty millet in it. Look at that, y'all. This is how we cut it when it's a little shorter than that, but when it's still really green, it's a great addition. And one of my favorites, this is hyacinth bean. Now you have to grow this on a sturdy trellis, but look at those purple bean pods. They are so fun, y'all. They're great for laying on tablescapes. And then where would we be without pumpkin on a stick? I use them green during the summer, and then at the end of the season, the stems coming on are, we let them develop into orange, and they literally look like little pumpkins. So this seed set, the Enchanted Twilight, has all that fun stuff that really can help you to make some really cool fall bouquets from your garden. And then, of course, what we're all thinking fall about is Harvest Table. Look at this fun little mix, y'all. Well, it's not a mix. It's a mix of seeds, but they're all individually packed. You get all 5 sets, and you could just set the table with these colors. And what this includes is the Fall Medley Pro Cut Mix. So you get all 5 of those colors of sunflowers in one seed pack. And then I love, love, love the gold coxcomb. Y'all, it just brightens everything up. And then this is the lowlander, that's Highlander. Highlander grass. Look at those seedy heads. They are so fun for fall. And what you leave in the garden, the finches will appreciate. And then, of course, the Everleaf lemon basil, which makes every bouquet smell as good as it looks. And then that draping green amaranth. This is Cascade. Nope, this is Green Tails. And this is Fuller. This is so fun, y'all. And so the seed sets, which are each $19.95, come with this little ribbon, a little picture of the card with 5 individual packs of seeds. And remember, this weekend is free shipping for orders over $30. So that is a great fun one. So, friends, this has been a marathon today, y'all. It's time to wrap it up. And if you stick around to the very end, if you want to hear the Q&A, and remember that special free shipping offer for the weekend through Monday night at midnight is only available here inside the app. It is not available over on our website. And so keep your eyes on that. Check out our free resources over at thegardenersworkshop.com. We have videos, we have blogs. You can connect with our podcast. And there's a blog over there that I wrote called Trusted Tools and Supplies that might be a good read if you're wondering about stuff. So we have two podcasts. One of them is Field and Garden that I host, as well as Seed Talk with Lisa and Lane, episode number 30 was 3 must-grow vegetables with Joe Lample. If y'all don't know Joe, Joe was the man behind Grow a Greener World on PBS for 13 seasons, and we just love talking to him about growing stuff. And remember that the Gardener's Workshop hosts Ask a Flower Farmer over on Instagram and TikTok at 3 p.m. on Wednesdays. So find us over there. Remember to join us back here next Friday for the live shopping show, as well as I do one on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And friends, I do pop-ups, which are basically random shows unannounced. And the only way you'll know I'm here is if you turn the notifications on inside your app. So turn those on. And the big deal of the day is free shipping on orders $30 or over. It is only in the app. It's in stock items only, so do not let stuff sell out, y'all. And it's now until midnight Monday, not Sunday like usual. We're going through the holiday, and now is the time to take advantage of that. And we now have a winner, and she's going to croak. I know she's going to croak. She's in my club. I think she's a flower farming school student, maybe. But she is a longtime supporter of our shows. And I don't know if you know who you are yet, but we love you. And your name is, drum roll, everybody, Tina Noel. You have won the $25 store credit. Tina, I am just so pleased for you. We're going to drop that in your cart, and I know that you're going to make good use of that. So combine this with the free shipping weekend, and girl, you are set up. And, we're just wishing you guys a very meaningful Memorial Day as we remember and pay tribute to those who gave everything for our freedom. Don't forget it, right? All right, on to other things. Q&A, friends. Let's get down to it and see what you guys have thrown. And Tina is here. Congratulations, Tina. I am so happy. So Jesse is typing right now, dropping that 25 smackers right into your cart. And congratulations. And thank you for participating and being such a fan that just shows up at so many of our events and comments. So we know you're there and you share with others, and we appreciate that. All right. Zone 6B, Northwest Michigan. Today, May 22nd, is my last frost date. Congratulations, you made it, right? Can I continue to succession plant snapdragons in group 3 and 4? Yes. The issue that we have in the South is we can also grow those long day snaps, but we get too hot and humid. That may not be the case for you. So for sure, I would plan to do a very testing succession to see which varieties work best for you and how late you can actually plant them. Zinnias, Celosias, Gumphrena, Salvias, and Scabby. Salvia and Scabbies are cool season hardy annuals, so it's likely. I wouldn't be starting them in the middle of summer, but you could probably start more now because you likely have a cool, humidity-free summer potentially. But zinnias, celosia, and Gumphrena are warm season tender annuals. And friends, I will tell you, that is one of the best things that I love about the Cut Flower Handbook. It segregates flowers by which family they're in, cool and warm. It just helps you to wrap your head around everything, right? As well as guide you to know when is the latest you can plant those based on days to bloom. So go for it, and you just need to segregate your seeds out warm and cool, and that'll help a lot. Can you talk about stage to harvest on yarrow again, please? And what do you use in bouquets after yarrow is finished? We use a lot of stuff. Azuratum comes to mind. So on yarrow, wait a minute, I'm getting stuff. So here's two great examples. No? Yes. So see, all of these have pretty much popped around the edges. They're fully developed. You can even see that the centers are coming out. And if you look at this one is a little bit droopy, you know, you saw it's not facing upright. And look, I'm going to hold the blooms side by side. You can see that, first off, you can see how much brighter the color is on this. And it's because it's kind of young. This is right on the edge. They weren't wrong in cutting this one, but because it was so hot yesterday, it pushed it. But you want all those little flowers to be open on the edge and letting it move a little bit further to this stage where it might be a smidgen duller in color. That's kind of like my cue. It's the first thing I do when I get to the patch. It's like I immediately cut all the dullest looking colors. And then I start looking at what's left over and see if there's anybody that's a candidate. But yeah, because you can't do anything to hydrate them if they're too early. What else do I use? Azuratum. I mean, everything. All the warm season coxcomb for sure. Will the Buplurum poop out when the temperatures get hot? Yep, all cool season hardy annuals, with few exceptions like Lysianthus. Typically, what happens is they get shorter and shorter when they regrow. If they regrow for you, or if you plant them late, they just never grow to full length, and they become very susceptible to pests and diseases. Can you explain why you direct sow those versus seed starting? Which do you? We don't know which one she's talking about, right? Do you think it's Buplurum?
I think just
So,
in general. Like
in general, okay. So, why do we start indoors 99% of the time, is because that's what commercial growers do. And I didn't quite understand it either. It's actually the opposite of what most people think. It is so much less work, more cost effective, and more successful when you start seeds indoors, because you walk out to your garden with a mature transplant and you plant it, and rarely, if ever, do you lose those plants, right? Sowing seeds out in the garden, you have to water almost daily to get a good stand of germination. You have to cultivate to keep weeds at bay while those seeds are growing up. Then and that's a lot of work. And then they have to be thinned, because you have to oversow, because you don't ever really have as strong a germination outdoors as you do indoors. So whenever we're given the choice, like if you see on our seed packet, it says start seeds indoors or direct sow, that means that seed will go either way. But we always choose to start indoors, and that's why. And you'll find that most commercial growers, it's just so much less work. And you can check out our YouTube channel. We did a Planet Pink challenge. It's a seed collection. We direct sowed one, and we planted transplants side by side. And I talk about how I had great success direct sowing, but it was a ton more work, and time, and that's what nobody has is time, right?
and there's some that just want to be.
And right, and so then there's a handful of seeds, Buplurum, Bells of Ireland, dill, that we just try not to have to start them indoors, because they need the cool temperatures to actually help them germinate. So we go by what the seed prefers. How many plants of the Sweet William do you plant of each variety? Too many. It definitely depends on what you need. The first cut is always the best, but many of them continue to produce. That's why I grow so many different varieties. They tend to bloom at different times. If you're a small grower, you know, it depends on how many you need each week, right? And that's something that we just have to, you get experience. You have to grow them and see how productive they are for you. Can blue plum be stored in a cooler? Yeah, but you know, we try not to store anything. We try to move it out as almost immediately, but you can hold a bucket for a couple of days if you need to. And most of the cool season hardy annuals really appreciate cool temperatures. When do you harvest Ami Magus? We don't have any Ami Magus in here this week, but sooner than most people do. It's when they're starting to turn from green to white, just starting to show some white is when I cut it. Most people cut it too late in the day. We cut it early in the morning and strip it hard, and it does great. And that's another one we put quick dip into the harvest bucket. Will status continue to bloom in the summer? We have status way too long, because yes, it does continue to just throw up a lot of blooms. If it's happy and it's, you know, in good soil and not getting rain constantly, it is. What is the days to mature for Rudbeckia Denver Daisy? You would have to look on the website to see that. I don't have that seed packet here, but the days to bloom are on there. And of course, the days to bloom, if you fall plant, isn't exactly accurate because your plants go dormant all winter, and you don't count dormant time, right? Are Clarkias one and done? Do you fall plant it? No, I very early spring plant Clarkia. We're right on the edge. And it's, if we have a deep dive into cold, we can lose it and it's not worth it. And it does great very early spring. So it is a huge brancher for us. It can be pinched. And it again depends on your conditions. This is a year, I mean, we're in coat weather on May 22nd. We're usually at 90 degrees every day. So it's probably going to go longer this year. All right, my friends, we are going to wrap it up with that. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations to Tina for winning, and thank you for joining us. And friends, don't forget, it is free shipping weekend here inside the app only on orders of $30 or more, and that will go through Monday. You at midnight, and you do not have to use a code, right, Susie? It's automatic. It's automatic. When you shop in the app, you're going to get free shipping for the weekend. And friends, it's only on in stock stuff, so do not let stuff get sold out that's in here. All right, my friends, until we meet again, be safe, be careful, and have a happy Memorial Day weekend. Ciao.